Hello, welcome to our Sunday Live. Today we're going to talk about whether you should get a wall tower and a reformer separate, or if you should get a reformer tower combo. I'm Lesley Logan. Thank you for being at my channel. I'm so grateful for all of the questions you guys leave in the comments. It's why we go live on Sundays. So any questions you have when you're watching any of our videos, please just know that if you put them in the comments, I'm the one who answers them, and then we add them to our lives so we can go into a deeper dive, because it's really hard to answer Pilates in a yes or no one sentence. There's so many different things to think about. So also, I am doing the reformer section for my Uplift program this weekend. Uplift is my teacher training program for new teachers or partially trained, like you've done a mat and reformer training teachers. So if you've been wanting to study classical Pilates, you've been wanting to become a Pilates instructor, a comprehensively trained Pilates instructor, so you can teach on all of the equipment. You want to actually go to our wait list, because in 2027, we are going to have new cohorts starting. So if you go to xxll.co/UWS, Uplift waitlist student, xxll.co/UWS, you can get on that wait list. Next month, I'm actually working with the people who are going to become educators, and they'll be onboarded this fall, and they'll have cohorts in the 2027 that are in person. There's potential options for hybrid, but I'm really, really proud of this program because we are creating teachers who are taking Joe Pilates systems and intentions and allowing people to experience those same things. So I hope that if you're interested, you get on that wait list, or if you know someone who is, you help them get on that wait list. Okay, so let's talk about the wall tower versus a tower reformer combo. So as you can see, I have a high mat here. I can actually lift this high mat up, lean it against this wall tower, and then I have the space on my floor back. This person who asked this question was like, I think if I get the wall tower and reformer separate, then I can slide the reformer into the space the high mat is in, assuming that that is a good idea. So I'll talk about this. So the Contrology reformer is actually quite easy to push around, especially if your floors are like a linoleum wood floor. You just put some sort of felt on the bottom and it will be in place. It's not going to move when you're on it. But if you want to push it by yourself, any kind of sliding disc, you could just push it and then pull it back into place. So for the person who asked this question, absolutely having the reformer right here with the mat up against this. So you're working with the reformer and the sliding away to bring the mat down and use the wall tower. I love that. The question was not like, is that a good idea? It was more like, or should I get the combo? Because I don't have to move anything around. A reformer tower combo would be that this would be the reformer and this is the tower, and it actually doesn't hook into a wall, and it actually stops about right here. And the thing about the reformer tower combos, I want you to know, they do change things. Sometimes the tower is actually in the way. So I like an 80-inch reformer. One, it doesn't take up a lot of space. Two, it is really quite supportive. And so unless you are over 6 foot tall, or you're teaching a lot of people who are, the 80 inch is really great. Unless you want to jump, like do jump board, you want an 86 inch. You can specially order an 80-inch reformer with a tower on it. Just work through me. I'll help you get connected to the salesperson. If you can, you'll get my discount. The thing, I love the 80-inch, and the 80-inch tower is great. However, some exercises you might be too long for, because the mat isn't going to be as long as it was an 86 inch. And also the beam stops here and it's not connected to a wall or a floor. So it's just connected to the reformer. So it does have a little bit of movement, right? The poles can move a little bit. They don't move a ton. It's not like they're going to bend or break. It's not like a palm tree, but they're not as stable as like this is drilled into a floor and a wall. It's not going anywhere. So my reason for you considering a wall tower plus a reformer versus a combo is actually more that I hate changing things around. It's so annoying to put a mat on and take a mat off. The other thing is that I can teach two people in this space at the same time. I can have someone using the wall tower and someone on the reformer doing their own workout. So if you're a teacher, you actually can have a duet, versus if you have a reformer tower combo, you cannot have a duet. Unless you have other equipment, you have one piece of equipment to work with. My other thing is, because of my height, standing arm springs for me, I can do on a tower here, just stand on this high mat, no problem. There's plenty of hooks. But on a tower reformer combo, if I stand on top of the reformer bed, the tower is shorter than I am. So I actually can't do my standing arm springs on top of that. I have to go on the other side of the tower reformer combo. But if you don't have space for that reformer tower to be away from a wall, now you actually lose all the standing exercises. So unless you're short and can stand on top of the converted reformer bed, you can't do the standing arm springs, which are essential and wonderful and great. So which one should you get? Honestly, space is going to be the first thing. If you don't have space to have the reformer push away from the wall tower, then you might have to get the combo. Of course, it's safe. Of course, there might be a few exercises that you can't do that as solidly as you would do here. Like I said, the standing arm springs. But if space is the thing, I'd rather you have as much of the tower as you can than none of the tower. But if you can do what I do, which is like have a reformer and a high mat, or you can move the reformer against the wall to pull a high mat down, I would separate the two. Absolutely. You'll just have a lot more versatility, a lot more options, and you don't have to take the mats off, set up the reformer, put the mats on. The other thing is, and Brad can probably show this. So on the reformer combo, I don't have any here, but if you show them the shoulder blocks, babe. So see these shoulder blocks here? Mine have handles. I use these handles all the time for corkscrew and TikTok, and you'll do some stuff with them for control balance off. If you have a reformer combo, you don't have these handles because you have to be able to take the shoulder blocks off. And so they actually just have a peg. And a peg sometimes is a little harder to hold because your hand can go up and slip off, whereas this, even if it goes off, it's not going anywhere. So personally, I'm used to this kind of a handle setup and I really like it. And when I work with the pegs, it feels my grip doesn't feel as secure. So anyways, my opinion, separate the two if you can, but if you can't, the combos are really great. We have a lot of clients and students who've done my Elevate program who have an 86 and an 80-inch reformer tower combo. They like them both. So it's really kind of a preference on price and space. If you have questions about what equipment to buy, if it's Contrology or Balanced Body, you're always welcome to bother me in the comments here. If you want my discount link, you can actually just DM me on Instagram. Happy to connect you if my discount link will serve you and support you in the decisions you're making, because even though I love the Contrology line, sometimes you need the other parts of the Balanced Body line, of course. And so I will always have an honest opinion for you there so you can make the best decision for yourself. What's really exciting is if you want to experience the Contrology Reformer, we're actually going to take it on our summer tour. We leave a week from tomorrow. We have 14 cities we're going on. You can see the cities at opc.me/tour and get your tickets. Denver and Lawrence are sold out, but Nashville has space in the workshop. Knoxville has space in a class and a workshop. Greensboro has space in a class and a workshop. And then after that, there's no more class space the rest of the tour. Augusta has a few spots left in the workshop. Atlanta is sold out. Huntsville has 5 spots left in the workshop. Birmingham has 1 left. Jackson is sold out. Frisco has a few spots left in the workshop. El Paso has some spots left in the workshop. Tucson is sold out. And then Las Vegas has a few spots left. So it's a 3-week tour, 14 cities. It's worth driving and traveling. And hey, we're driving and traveling. opc.me/tour. But Contrology and Balanced Body are sponsors of our tour. It's why we get to bring our Contrology Reformer, mat, and spine corrector with us on tour. So it's so much fun. I really can't wait. I like to see and meet you guys in person because I know that's when I hear what videos you like and which ones are helping you, which ones are supporting you. And so I'm really excited to get back on the road. It's been several months since we've done a tour and it's just one of our favorite things. So you can go to opc.me/tour to get your ticket to that. Brad, anything else for our lovely Sunday morning people?
No questions.
Oh, wait. Well, you can leave a question before I go. I'm happy to answer it here. The other thing I just want to say is while we're on tour, there are going to be 2 Sundays we cannot do our lives. It's just not going to work out with the time zone changes. I'll be teaching a class at the time I normally go live. So I will be live next week. Yes, August 2nd. But then the next 2 Sundays after that, I will not be. And then I believe it's August 23rd that we'll be back in Vegas and I will be going live with you again. So just 2 Sundays we're missing on this tour. Typically, we try to make sure we are able to do them, but just the way that the time zones worked out, we weren't able to do that. So we have a question.
If you're short, is an 80-inch better than an 86 for the reformer?
So if you're
Is
short,
there a reformer tower?
yeah. So if you are short, is that better to have an 80 or do you have to get the 86 inch? So, okay, let me explain how they measure it, right? From headrest to foot bar, the equipment is the same on an 80, 86, and beyond. So it actually does not make a difference from there. But where they add the 6 inches is at the back. So the straps get longer. So if you're shorter, what that means is it takes a little, so no matter what height you are, it takes the straps a second longer to engage the springs because of physics, right? The length back there to engage in the springs. But when you're shorter, it can also just feel a little less supportive, especially in short spine. I'm not even short, and an 86-inch feels less supportive in short spine. So if you are shorter, and you teach mostly people under 5'10". I mean, if you have the odd 6 foot person, you're going to be fine. An 80-inch is going to be great for you. The 80-inch with the tower on it is going to be fine. You may feel like the tower bars are on the way for twist and reach for some tall people, but like honestly, it's not like you're going to actually hit them. So I wouldn't really worry about that. So you won't be able to use a jump board in an 80-inch. There's no space. That is actually why 86 inches came into existence, was to add the jump board. So reformers did not have jump boards with Joe. Romana wanted to add the jump board on. And so the reformers became 86 inches so that you could jump. So that's the thing to do. The mat will be only 80 inches. That might feel like it's not long enough for some tall people doing some exercises. But again, it's like we're talking probably flying eagle or swan. We're not talking every exercise. So maybe their feet hang off. Just so you know, my feet hang off on the Cadillac doing those exercises, and I'm only 5'9". So to me, it's not really that big of a deal. But here's the deal. My default mode is everyone gets an 80-inch, and then you tell me that you teach NBA players, and I go, oh, all your clients are over 6'4". Okay, let's talk about it. All right. Anything else, Brad? Wonderful. You guys are so amazing. Thanks for being here. Make sure you get your tour tickets. I would love to see you. If you don't live in those cities, please send it to someone who is. We have lots of prizes from Balance Body, 𝐲𝐢𝐿, Pilates. And then if you are interested in our teacher training program, �XXLL.co/UWS. We have a few spots left in my mentorship program if you're already a comprehensively trained teacher. So just reach out if you're wanting more information about that before that fills up. Thank you so much. Have a good day.